All right. Okay, so has everyone been able to kind of keep up with the information that's been coming out in the group, on the group page?
Yep.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions about anything that has shown up there as of yet? Just
Not really. What if you hate lemon? I can't, the lemon water is so hard for me to drink. I don't know why.
do you like lime juice?
No. It tastes like me. I'm trying. I had it twice. I'm trying.
How
Ugh.
much lemon juice are you putting in there?
I just squeeze a quarter of it and squeeze it as hard as I can.
Maybe just split that in half.
Okay, I'll try that.
Just
I'm not
Yeah.
a hot drinker, so it's weird. I just told my husband, I'm like having a hard time gagging it down.
Yeah,
But
it's not for everyone. I've had people ask me if they could use limes instead of lemons, which is totally fine. And people that just don't care for it for whatever reason. So even just the tiniest squeeze of lemon,
Okay.
just start
I'll try.
small. And if you find yourself getting used to it, then maybe try a little bit more.
Okay.
You have to do what works for you.
Yep.
I don't want you like having to gag.
I don't drink hot. I've never drank a cup of coffee in my life, so I'm having a hard time with a hot beverage. It's weird.
So just do room
Oh.
temperature. Room temperature water.
I'm gonna keep trying. I can do this.
It doesn't have to be hot. If you just want to do room temperature water, I cannot believe you've never had a cup of coffee in your life.
I know.
I haven't either.
What?
Either I can't.
Or tea.
Vanilla coffee makes me sick. Tea?
Are we all
No tea either.
No,
No.
nothing.
How about hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate with bourbon in it, but yeah.
Oh, well. So that's a hot toddy. I'm not talking hot toddies.
Not coffee.
Oh goodness.
Huh.
Well, good for you. I mean, we started drinking, my family, we started drinking coffee. What was I, 7?
Yeah.
Oh my
I was,
And wine.
yeah.
And wine, yes. And coffee, no.
Oh,
Funny.
goodness.
Well, if it helps, it took me a little bit. I'm an avid coffee drinker, so I drank hot liquids, but to me, lemon water has to be cold. So it took me a bit to
Did
get
it?
through the hot water. So I
I'm
did it a little bit
weird.
by little bit, but now I really enjoy it. I
Okay.
really do. Yeah, it did take me a little bit to get used to. I know what you're talking about because at first
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
She
I'm
was.
like drinking in the morning. I'm like, okay. I
Yeah.
brush my
And you're like, oh, it's gonna go down.
When Liz first started, that was the exact same thing. Like at the very beginning of the last one, she was like, I don't like the lemon water. I don't like it. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, just
I
start
feel that-
small.
Now I like it.
Oh, good. All right.
And I like the tea. I'm fussy about tea because I've been coffee. So teas are like I could give or take. And now I really like the tea. I like
you?
have to have it either every morning or every afternoon. Yeah.
All right. I'll build my way up. I can do this.
Does everybody understand why we are drinking it room temperature to warm as opposed to cold?
No.
Because our bodies absorb the warmer temperatures faster and easier and better than when we drink something cold.
Good to know.
So that's why if you're like exercising or out in the heat or whatever, and you're trying to hydrate it, it's actually better to drink warm, like not warm necessarily, but just like room temperature water will hydrate you faster than cold water. And so when you're drinking the water, like with the lemon juice in it, which is providing you with nutrients, your body's going to absorb that faster and easier.
All right. Thank you.
Get more benefits. That's all. So,
You're gonna-
I posted about digestion and chewing your food. Does anyone have any questions about digestion or the chewing your food process? Do we all understand that?
Nope.
Or
Got that.
We're good? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So with all that said, so that I just want to say, this is Vanessa that's coming in. She's like my coaching partner. So she's with us in the group, hanging out. Can you hear us, Vanessa? Vanessa.
She's muted.
Is she muted?
So there.
Can you hear me now?
Hi, yeah.
Yep.
Hi, Vanessa. There she
Hi,
is.
I'm at Panera.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You're fine. I'm glad you're here. So this is Vanessa, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, so we were just talking about the lemon water digestion and chewing our food. So with all of that said, and I did touch on this on the last call, you can change your flavor preferences over time. So you may think like at this point in your life that your palate just is set to what it is and you just like what you like and you're never going to like anything else. But they've actually done studies and research on this, and your taste preferences actually can change over time. It may take a little while depending on like how old you are, where you're at, how much time you spend eating the foods that you eat, but you can change your palate. So in other words, it's like, vegetables tend to be bitter. And I think that's why people typically don't, I'm sorry, Dan left the refrigerator open and it's beeping.
Who does that?
I thought you were in the other room. Sorry. Because vegetables are bitter and, you get used to eating like fatty, salty, sweet foods. And then you eat these bitter vegetables and it's like, ugh, they just don't taste good. With that said, the bitter, what am I trying to say? The more bitter a vegetable is, the better it is for you, nutritional wise, first of all. And you can, like I said, change that over time. So just a few steps to start working towards changing your palate. You want to challenge yourself. Like, I mean, the probably the hardest thing for someone to eat that doesn't typically eat a lot of vegetables and is on kind of like a meat and potato kind of diet, I think would be kale. So kale is very bitter and hard to eat. So challenge yourself. Just eat the kale, no matter.
No.
No, that's
Oh,
a
I'm
hard
sorry.
no.
What were you saying?
Liz, that's not helpful. And there's different ways that you can make kale. That's just a suggestion. Maybe something a little less bitter than kale for starters. But you want once you try those foods that normally you would turn your nose up to and just like, I'm never going to eat that. That's when you start to pair them with different things. So you want to complement those bitter foods with other foods that are going to bring down the bitterness. So once you've tried something that's bitter, no matter what you think of it, how disgusting you think it is, try it again with something that's going to complement it well. And that would be like, something spicy, something sour, something salty. I'm not saying to add salty foods, to during the cleanse, but like foods that are typically just saltier than others. And you just have to try it, and you have to try different things, and you have to put different things together. And over time, you kind of figure out what you like, and your taste buds eventually change. Like Liz said, at first she hated the lemon water, but then she just kept powering through and now she loves it. That's just one small example. And you can do that with other foods. It can be done. So so pairing bitterness with other certain flavors can turn the volume down on it. I also want to say, when you're making your food, when you're cooking, please don't cook your vegetables to death. We don't want them to be mushy. We want them to be kind of al dente, because the more you cook your vegetables, the less nutritional value they're going to have, because you're going to cook all the vitamins and nutrients right out of it. So lightly steamed, lightly baked, lightly roasted. Okay. With that said, again, we're keeping this simple. This isn't meant to be overwhelming. We just want to get through this cleanse, eating enough food so we're nourished, and detoxing and flushing and cleansing, right? So I want it to, be an enjoyable experience for you, and I want you to try new things, but at the same time, I want to keep it as easy as possible. So, there's a few recipes I'm going to shoot out there probably like tonight, tomorrow morning. We always make a vegan chili. I know it's summer and it's hot, but it's easy to make. You can make a big pot of it and you can eat off of it for a few days. Soup. I'm going to share a lentil soup recipe that's always a big hit with everybody. Again, it's easy to make. You can make a big pot of it and you can eat off of it for a few days. So you can have like your vegan chili with a salad. You can have your lentil soup with a little salad. That's a meal right there. And it's light and it's nourishing and it's going to get you through this. So the quinoa and the brown rice, I always recommend, because brown rice and quinoa, it's like, they just really have no flavor. They're just kind of there for substance, I feel like. So I cook my brown rice and my quinoa in vegetable broth, and I add seasonings to it. And it adds a lot of flavor. And the first time I did that, Dan and the kids were like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So it's just going to make it more enjoyable. With that said, your seasonings, check your spice rack, whatever you have, and get creative with those. Italian seasonings, basil, oregano, all the things. When I roast my vegetables, that's another one of those situations where I'll just go through my fridge and whatever I have in there on hand or that needs to be used, I just cut it up, put it on a pan. I drizzle avocado oil over it, fresh garlic, seasonings, whatever sounds good to you. Roast the vegetables till they're like al dente. Serve those with some of the brown rice or the quinoa. Okay, and that's a meal right there. Do you guys know why I cook with avocado oil and not olive oil?
No.
Olive oil, when heated, releases carcinogens. Avocado oil is a high heat cooking oil, as well as coconut oil. I love coconut oil for certain things, but it does have a strong flavor and can overpower what you're making. Whereas the avocado oil really is very light and doesn't change the flavor of your food. But both of those oils are high heat oils. Olive oil is a healthy fat and it is good for you when you don't cook it, you just raw. So for salad dressings and just a drizzle over something, that's okay. That's why I do that. Amber had reached out about the breakfast cereals. So cereals, I mean, I just don't recommend ever buying or eating cereal ever. It's just, even organic cereals, they just put a lot of sugar in there. And I do granola. I either make gluten-free granola at home or I buy it, just gluten-free granola, and we eat that like cereal. We just cut up fruit and put it over the granola with some almond milk or coconut milk, and that's our cereal.
That sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. And
So is
gluten-free.
that something we could eat on the cleanse, the granola?
So find a gluten-free, unsweetened granola with the least amount of ingredients as possible. And yeah, as long as the sugar is below, it's just got to be really low sugar. So you want to make sure it's unsweetened, because there's no maple syrup or honey during the cleanse. So you want to make sure that it's not being sweetened with maple syrup or honey. Stevia is allowed. And then granola is actually pretty easy to make. So I can share just a homemade granola recipe, and then you can make it the way you need to suit your needs, if that interests anyone.
Yeah, that sounds good if you can post that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, and then the rice crackers and the hummus. Let me show you these other crackers I get that are good. Have you guys seen these, Mary's?
No, where'd you get them?
No.
I just get it. Well, I'm in Florida, so we have Publix down here.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure I've seen these in Fredonia though, at Tops when I'm home visiting. But these are organic and gluten-free. They're just seeds. I mean, this is a super, super clean product. There's literally nothing in these crackers that you can't eat on the cleanse. So these crackers with hummus is great. A great snack, and hummus is filling. So
Oh, look, I don't remember ever seeing those.
no.
No, but I'm going to Wegmans tomorrow, so
Oh, maybe Wegmans.
I'm gonna try Wegmans.
Okay.
I've been getting a lot of my stuff at Wegmans.
Yeah. I missed.
Aldi's has a lot of gluten-free stuff too.
Mhm. Just check the,
Aldi's.
check the ingredients.
Check the sugar though, because
Okay.
Sugar.
yeah, I'm celiac, so I have to eat gluten free,
Mhm.
and that I've run. That was part of my problem, is that I would just eat all this stuff, but it's got a lot of sugar in it. So, because they have to supplement it with something,
Mhm.
there's no wheat or grain in it, so they put sugar in it or some other additive.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
processed foods are still processed foods, and we want to
Yeah,
stay away from processed foods like the cereals and a lot of those gluten-free prepackaged things. But the Mary's crackers, as far as something prepackaged, that's a good one. So, all right. So we've talked about water intake. Does everyone have their detox tea? Or is
I
it
do.
on your list of, no, Julie, have you
I,
been?
I'm trying to get to hot water. I might try the tea later.
You
What's
gotta
a
get
good one?
detox tea. Traditional.
I don't like tea, so
Who said that?
Um,
Who said
I
that?
don't like tea. So what's a good one that's easy to start with?
I mean, I feel like they're pretty light. Maybe traditional medicines has a detox tea. Yogi has a detox tea. I'm pretty sure they're both organic. I would think
Mhm.
Tops or Wegmans would have those. Liz, where have you've seen those, right?
Tops has.
Sure. I think
Yeah.
Regina said that too. So if you don't like tea, again, with anything that you don't necessarily like, start small. So maybe do double the water for one bag, or steep it half the time so the flavor is less.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay. Can
sense?
you add lemon to it, or is that,
You can add lemon to it if you'd like. Yeah, absolutely.
so will the tea say right on them, detox tea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me grab my, hang on.
it'll be idiot proof for me. DETOX.
This is the traditional medicines
Mm-hmm.
detox tea.
Okay.
All right. There's a picture of it in the group. I think was Amber asking about the tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shared a picture of it in one of the posts. I can't remember, but I can share it again. Or-
I can share some of mine later. I'm sorry, I'm not home.
Oh, that's okay. So the flaxseed, is that on, did everyone get their ground flaxseed, or is it at least on your list? Yeah. Okay.
I am.
I did not.
Okay.
I don't know if I can even.
You have a few days to get your things. I just want to make sure everybody's got their list going and that you have a plan, so you're setting yourself up for success, right? We start Monday. It's only Wednesday. So give yourself a few days, and I understand, Amber. I mean, honestly, when I was first introduced to the flaxseed cocktail, I was like, I'm not doing this. That is, no, I'm not doing this. No.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I can't, it sounds so nasty. I can't even think.
I tried
I
it
got the lemon
today.
water down though, so I'm good with that.
I did it today for the first time and the flavor wasn't bad, but I don't think it didn't dissolve enough. So it was gritty and that bothered me.
So it's not gonna dissolve completely.
Okay.
You have to keep stirring it.
Like that fiber, what's that fiber drink that,
Like
They-
Metamucil.
yeah,
Metamucil.
Metamucil. That's what it
Yeah.
reminds me of.
Yeah, the last sip was rough because it had, even though I
Ugh,
stirred it, it
Cause
was.
it's all
settled
there.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
keep
But the rest,
stirring
like the
it.
flavor wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's like it's really just a nutty kind of flavor. It's light, it's not bitter, it's not sweet, it's not spicy, it's just a light, nutty flavor. So keep stirring it, keep a second glass of water, I would suggest nearby. So when you get that last swig down, you can wash that down. You know what I'm saying? It'll help like break it up. You know, and with these things that you guys are like, oh, I don't like that. It's, you know, I don't want to try that. What I would like to invite you to do is when you're considering trying new things that aren't necessarily pleasant or pleasurable or the best tasting, think about what it's doing to your body. These are all good things for your body, right? The lemon water in the morning is jump-starting your metabolism. It's filling your gut and your immune system up with vitamin C and immune boosting powers. It's nourishing your body. The flaxseed cocktail is fiber. Did you guys see my post about fiber?
Mhm.
The importance of fiber. Girls, we're just, you know, I know some of us are a little bit older and some of us are a little bit younger, but fiber is so important for health. And people in general are severely deficient in fiber. People do not eat enough fruits and vegetables to get the fiber that they need for optimal health. You need fiber to move everything through. If you're not getting enough fiber, everything's just stagnant inside of you, just getting more and more toxic. So in regards to the flaxseed cocktail, I get it, but when you're drinking it, keep that in mind. Keep in mind what it's doing for you health-wise and that it's good for you. And that's why we're here and that's why we're doing this, because we want to put nourishing things in our body and we want to flush out the bad stuff, right? So that's really going to help. And again, with the fiber, listen to your body, know yourself. If you're someone that already prior to this, starting this, doesn't get a lot of fiber, it's going to be a shock to your body. So start small and slow and work your way up. You don't want to like put 2 tablespoons of flaxseed cocktail in a glass of water. Because if you do, I suggest just staying in the bathroom all day. So slow and easy with everything, okay? And listen to your body. And if you're drinking it and you're feeling a little bloated, then just cut back or take a break. You know, we drink it twice a day. So if you drink it in the morning and you're uncomfortable all day, don't drink it that night. And then the next day, maybe just do half of what you did the day before and just work with it. Okay. It's
Sounds
not
good.
a one size fits all situation. Everybody's bodies are different. We're all in different places in our health journey. So this is also that's the thing. It's also an opportunity to really get in tune with yourself and really take notice of how you feel when you consume certain things, right? Okay. So, dry skin brush.
I've been doing that. Woohoo. And
That you like.
I like that one.
Great. Great.
Yep.
Oh, good job, honey. Journaling. How are we all with journaling? does anyone already do that, or is this a new thing? I think we talked about this a little bit the other night, right?
It'll
New
be
for
new.
me.
Yeah, it's new.
New? Are you feeling comfortable with that, or do you feel like it's something you're gonna have to work on?
I
Meryl,
feel,
you're
yeah, I
good?
feel good. Journalism major, so writing. It's just finding the time to do it.
Right. Well, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself with it. Just a couple minutes, a minute or two, whatever you have. It doesn't have to be a novel, right? So if you only have a couple minutes, just sit down and just, write down what you've been noticing about your body or what you're doing, any changes, any challenges, and not even necessarily all of them. If it's too much, if it's more than you have time to do, then just write down a few things and just be okay with putting the rest off to the next day. You have
Okay.
2 little kids.
Yeah.
We have to be realistic about our lives, right? Writing down, and if you're still struggling with what to write, then just open up your journal and write down one thing that you're grateful for that day. Get up in the morning and just what's one thing that you're grateful for? And then that's all you have to write. And just put it away and go about your day. And then the next day, maybe you write down 2 things that you're grateful for. Okay. But if that's up to you, whatever works for you. Don't put that pressure on yourself. This isn't meant to be stressful. Journaling is very beneficial for our mental and emotional health. It's just good to get those thoughts out. And when you're putting them on paper, again, it doesn't even have to make sense. This is just for you. Nobody's going to see it. It doesn't have to make sense. You could write down a bunch of words, draw a picture if you want to, that kind of expresses maybe how you're feeling or how you're a goal or whatever, or just something that makes you happy. Draw a flower, like your favorite flower. We want to really make the time to do something every day that brings us joy. And it's all about mindset. And so that's where we're trying to move our focus. We're working on moving our focus to gratitude and joyfulness and things that make us happy and feeling good. And when we're nourishing our bodies and nourishing our minds and taking that time for self-care, our lives just naturally become more fulfilling. Okay, does that make sense? So that's why we do these things. I'm just trying to explain why we do these things. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions leading up to Monday at this point? Any more about food? How are we feeling? Are you feeling like, okay, I know what I need to get. I've got some ideas of what to make. I'm going to put some recipes out tonight and in the morning for you guys to look at. In the meantime, get on Pinterest. Get on your Pinterest and just look up vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, whatever, soups or salads, or, use all the keywords: simple, easy, vegan, gluten-free, right? And see what pops up and what looks good to you. Okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm here for you. Is there anything else that I can do for you, or any way I can be for any one of you here at this time?
I just want to know, do they really make organic lemons? Because we can't find them.
They do. Lemons have been weird. I mean, super expensive. Organic lemons are so expensive that it angers me. I don't even know what the heck. I'm going to start growing my own. But lemons are one of those things that don't have to be organic.
Okay.
So if you can't find them, just get the conventional ones. I mean, choose organic as much as possible when possible. But those thick-skinned fruits are typically okay conventional-wise. Not as good as organic, but not the worst. Like strawberries, don't ever buy non-organic strawberries, right? All berries, they're so porous. They just soak up the chemicals and the sprays. I mean, it's just don't buy conventional strawberries or any kind of berries. for that matter. So if you can't find organic berries fresh, or if you don't know where they're coming from, as far as like locally grown and where you can talk to the farmer and say, hey, what are you spraying this stuff with? I mean, they're probably spraying it with something. Anyone that's growing organic fruits and vegetables, I feel like come right out and they're like, hey, this is organic. And if it's not, they're not saying it, right? But get frozen. Go to the freezer section and get frozen organic berries. In fact, frozen organic berries are actually probably more nutritious because they pick them and freeze them right away. And so it holds the nutritional value as opposed to those organic strawberries that you see at the grocery store that came from California. You think about how long it took for those to travel here. As soon as the fruit is picked, it starts to lose its vitamins and nutritional value. So by the time it gets to us, it's actually less nutritional than if you buy it frozen. So don't be afraid to get frozen organic berries and just let them thaw out and put those on your granola cereal or your unsweetened vegan yogurt or whatever you choose to do there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? Anything? Okay. I am here for you. Call me, text me. If anything comes up, if you have a question, just let me know. And then
Okay.
do another Zoom Monday night at 7. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.